Hey, what's up guys? Today I'm doing an unboxing and first look of the newly released Everlast Powerlock OG Pro Training Gloves. So stay tuned. Hey, what's up guys? Carlo here. Today I'm excited to bring you an unboxing and first look of the newly released Everlast Powerlock OG Pro Training Gloves. These retail for $200. I got mine in 16-ounce lace-ups in the red and black colorway. Before I do the unboxing, let's go over the specs of this particular model. Again, they retail for $200. You can get these anywhere between 10 to 18 ounces. You have 4 colors to choose from. You can get it in black and white, red and black, which is what I went with, white and black, as well as kind of like a baby blue and white. There's some key features on here. Premium leather construction, so you use a genuine leather. C3 foam, which is basically an acronym for a contoured closed cell foam. The C3 foam is something they've actually used in their past models, so that's not something they knew that they've added in terms of their technology that they put into this glove. High density C3 foam inhibits moisture transfer into the foam padding to keep your gloves lighter and drier during use. Lace-up closure, ergonomic grip bar, and secured thumb. Nothing out of the ordinary there. Everdry inner glove lining for ultimate moisture management and comfort. So Everdry, again, just like C3, is not something new they've added. They've had that in the past in previous models. So this glove to me, is basically like a throwback to their original Powerlock gloves. They had their original Powerlock gloves that came out years ago. And then they came out with the Powerlock 2s, which I felt weren't as popular. They didn't really gain the same traction as the original Powerlocks did. They incorporated like a new lace-up system for the lace-up models, where it kind of like cinched your wrist up better, and then they had a Velcro version as well. But again, I feel like those really never picked up steam quite like the original Powerlocks. In fact, I know there's a lot of people that actually prefer the original over the second version, and now they came out with these kind of throwback OG versions, albeit they're more expensive, almost, I believe, double the price at $200. I believe the original Powerlocks were $100. So that's a little bit of a concern, because I'm wondering if that price is justified. Obviously, let's open up the box and we'll kind of have our first initial thoughts on that. So let me go ahead and get my knife, get this box open. Nothing crazy or out of the ordinary here. Standard Everlast cardboard box that you get in the mail. It looks like this comes from their Missouri location, or should I say their shipping. They ship pretty much all, I believe, all their products out of Missouri. That's where they're like warehoused out of. So I'm trying to be careful not to cut the inside of the box. That opened up. Put my knife away, and let's go ahead and slide the gloves out. And there you have it. So here, the gloves wrapped up in plastic. Go ahead and get this plastic open and slide them out. So there you have it. There is the left and the right glove. They put a lot of wrapping paper and some silica gel packets. Those silica packets are for moisture, so it kind of draws moisture out of whatever's inside it. Okay, so here is the right glove in that red and black colorway. It does say Everlast, established 1910, in white. Similar to the original models, you have Powerlock on the inner portion of the thumb. The thumb is black. The leather here has a kind of a semi-gloss finish, and it does have like a really nice smooth texture to it. It does say Powerlock on the inner grip bar. White stitching, which is a nice contrast. I do like the fact that they use white stitching on the black leather, and then they use kind of like a red stitching on the back of the wrist hinge point right there. It does say Choice of Champions, which is their slogan as well right there. And you do have the C3 foam logo on the bottom right here of the wrist, as well as the 16-ounce weight tag in yellow and black that is stitched into the wrist right there as well. On the back of the wrist support, again, a little bit different than the previous models. They do have the Everlast logo that's actually embossed into the leather. So there's no actual patch that's stitched onto the back, which I like. I prefer that. It looks cleaner. I think it looks a little more high-end, and you don't have to worry about any type of stitching on the back of the wrist support. You do have the Everlast tag they put on here with the barcode. Style name, Powerlock OG Pro Training Glove, lace up, red and black, 16 ounces, SKU number, UPC, all that good stuff. They also put these little pieces of foam, like a little 1-inch foam block inside the glove to kind of help retain its shape. The inner liner is this Everdry liner, which is basically like a smooth tricot liner on the inside of the hand compartment. It's not a polyester satin liner. So you do have that Everdry lining. There is a tag on the inside. My best guess is these are probably made in Pakistan or India. Let me take a look. So you have the weight on the inside tag, made in India. So these gloves are made in India. Let me undo the laces. Laces are kind of the cheaper ones. I wish that these were more of those poly cotton blend laces. These are kind of the cheap cotton laces. Flat black with plastic tips at the end. Not a big fan of these type of laces. I mean, they'll do their job, but just in terms of laces, since we're being nitpicky here. So that is the right glove. Here's the left glove next to it. So again, in terms of aesthetics, it's very similar to the original Powerlocks. One thing I will tell you right off the bat is they definitely use a better quality leather than the outgoing Powerlock model, the original ones, and even the second one. The leather on here definitely feels just like a grade better. The finish of it has a really smooth texture to it, but definitely feels better and more high-end. And even just the stitching on here looks really good overall. I mean, let me give you guys a quick close-up of the left glove, like where the index finger meets the thumb. Looks really good. You do have that attached thumb right there, but the leather itself definitely looks better and more improved compared to the original Powerlocks and even the second version. So the stitching looks really good. Here's the palm side. Double stitching in that white. So I think they did a good job with the white in terms of color of thread they use to contrast with the black palm. So that looks really good. Wrist support wise, you're looking at about 1 inch on the back of the wrist. It's more of a denser EVA foam on the outside. The inside is definitely a softer foam that lines up against your skin. So I definitely like that. The inside of the wrist, you're looking at maybe 1/4 inch of that firm density foam padding. And again, the liner, that tricot liner they use is much more softer. In terms of like weight distribution, like if I hold the back of the glove, I don't have my scale on me, so I haven't weighed the gloves. I'll do that in a review, but it feels pretty well balanced in terms of weight distribution. It doesn't feel like the glove has too much foam towards the front. And then the midsection and the rear is lacking. So in terms of like having that flop, it feels pretty well balanced in terms of where the weight distribution's at. The thickness of the padding, you're looking at maybe about 2 inches in thickness. And the foam density, when I push down on it, I'd say it's right in the middle, medium density. So definitely not stiff and in rock solid like an injected molded glove, but it's not too soft either to where you can like really push right through. I have some gloves I've done reviews on, like Lucky Khaki, some of my messenger gloves, some of my other horsehair gloves where it's much softer, meaning that like if I were to grab my fingers and kind of pinch the foam padding, you can really just kind of pinch through and almost touch your fingers together. With this padding, you definitely can't do that. And the more you compress it, you can see that it firms up really nicely. So you have that as well. So overall, I mean, so far, pretty impressed. So you guys can see the logos next to each other. Looks like the logo, if I can't tell, I feel like the logo on the right glove is a little bit closer to the thumb than the left glove. So I feel like it's a little bit more closer, where the left glove is a little bit further away. The patch on the back of the wrist looks really good. Both gloves are pretty much the same height. And same thing with the pre-curved hand compartment. It's done really nicely, both about the same thickness. And the thumb position looks pretty much identical on both gloves. So in terms of symmetry, both gloves look really good. Now let's put them on. Slide my hand into the glove. Oh wow. All right, so first things first. Thumb position on the right hand feels really good. I feel that base piping is a little bit tight. So there's a little bit of concern there on this base piping, more particularly higher up in this pocket right here. I feel like it's a little bit on the tight side. But in terms of the position, it's nice parallel thumb. When I close my hand, it doesn't come down and collapse onto the tip of my thumb. So the attached thumb does its job, but it doesn't push down too much. The finger compartment depth is really good. It's not too wide, not too narrow. There's a secondary grip bar on the inside, but it feels unfinished. It almost feels like they rolled it in, but it just, I don't know, it just doesn't feel complete. And the main grip bar is it's kind of soft. So I wish the main grip bar was a little bit larger and more firm, because when I make a fist, I can feel that it's there, but I feel like, again, it's not big enough. I wish that I can really grip onto that grip bar. I feel like that's definitely an opportunity there. And again, that secondary grip bar they put in there, you can feel that they put it there, but it doesn't give you a lot of depth into the finger compartment area. I wish it was a little bit deeper and I can really tuck my finger inside there. In terms of the broken inness of the glove, no, that's not a real word, but I'd say that, you know, maybe about 60%. It's not ultra stiff, but it's not super soft and broken in. You can see I can open and close my hand pretty decently, but if you want to get it more open and more flexible, there's definitely going to be a break-in period. So, you know, obviously using this in your training will soften that foam up on the glove. So yeah, I'd say that, I guess, areas that I'm kind of concerned about is going to be that base thumb piping and kind of that secondary grip bar. It just feels weird. And I wish they kind of opened it up a little bit more, and it feels like that grip bar just needs to be complete. So the liner does feel really good though. I don't have any excess liner on the back of my hand. The wrist support feels really good. You know, once everything gets kind of cinched up and tightened down, I think it'll be very supportive and feel good around the wrist and forearm. And, you know, compared to other 16-ounce gloves, I'd say these are medium in size. They're not overly large, nor are they too small. Left glove, slide these on. Yeah, and again, the same thing with the left glove. Like there's like a secondary grip bar, but it's almost like it feels like it's just incomplete in the finger compartment. And the base of the thumb, again, on the left glove feels a bit tight. So I wish they would have opened that up more to give a little bit more room on the base of the thumb. The position of the thumb is good. I feel like it's nice and parallel, but the base just, again, feels too tight. And the grip bar on here, again, I just don't feel it. So when I roll my hands and make a fist, I just don't feel like I feel that grip bar. And again, that secondary grip bar where the finger compartment is just feels off. So to me, that's an area that they can definitely improve. And again, about the same level of broken in feel, about 60% broken in. It's going to take a little bit of time to soften these gloves up to where you can really open and close your hand and get that flexibility. So yeah, I'd say that there's a couple areas I'm a little worried about, a little concerned about. And obviously when I start training, I'll know. Once I have hand wraps on, start sweating in these, and my hands start to swell a little bit, then you'll really know, and that's when you're going to really feel it. But, you know, my initial takeaways with this glove is you could tell where they tried to really improve the leather quality and just the workmanship of it, like the stitching, the leather quality is definitely improved over the outgoing models in the previous iterations. Aesthetically, I think they did a good job of kind of keeping true with the look of the original Powerlocks. So I think they did a really good job there. The balance feels really good. My main concern is the comfort of the glove, kind of the hand ergonomics, which to me is my top priority. like when it comes to gloves. I mean, everything is a priority. The quality is always a priority. You know, the padding, of course, but you know, being able to really get your hand in there and make a really nice, comfortable fist that just feels really natural. That's where I really look at a glove, and I feel like, again, the base of the thumb just feels pretty tight and kind of cuts down a little bit too soon. Yeah, the grip bar could definitely be larger and more firm, and then just this finger compartment just doesn't feel deep enough. It feels odd because of that secondary grip bar. It feels like it's kind of bunched up inside there. So those are the areas that I'm gonna really kind of get a good feel for once I start training with these, and eventually do a review. So if you guys have any questions or comments, you guys put them down below in the comments box. I'll put the link in the description box where you can find these newly released Powerlock OG Pro Training Gloves. I'll see you guys later. Peace.